What is going on, guys? It's your boy Chris here. I am back with another video. This one's gonna be a little bit different than my normal. Um, but there's been a lot of news on the interwebs about an incident that happened at a bar in Fells Point in downtown Baltimore on Halloween, where a couple dressed like Nazis, Hitler and a female SS officer, I guess, were allowed to get into a bar, take pictures, drink, and all that stuff. The bars come under a lot of scrutiny. The people who did it are coming under a lot of scrutiny, all deservedly so, by the way. Um, and I'll get into that in a second. I have a bit of a unique perspective on this because I used to work as a bouncer in Fells Point. I did two stints as a bouncer in Fells Point. The first time it was a part-time job. Well, it was both times it was part-time work, but I still did it for a long time. Wound up doing it for a couple years. It was a good job. I loved the people I worked with, stuff like that, but that's not the point here. Um, a lot of people are asking how this could have happened or why someone was allowed they were allowed to get into a bar. Um, the basic answer to that is because security wasn't shit at this bar. Security ain't shit, and the people in the bar that work there have no ability to control situations, and they allowed it to happen. It's that simple. So for the owner to come out and say, "Don't blame us," blah blah blah, don't blame my bartenders or my staff for what these people did. No, they absolutely should get blamed for it, as should you, as you clearly don't know what the fuck happens at your own bar. Um, they let the people in, they served them, they took pictures with them. There was no fucking excuse for that. You did that to yourself, bro. Your bar did that to their own reputation. And people are rightfully pissed and not going and talking about not giving you their business anymore because of your actions or lack of accountability in this case. Your guy at the front door let them in, so that's on them. Your bartender served them, that's on them. Your staff took pictures with them, that's on them. As the owner, their actions reflect on you. Whether you think it's fair or not is irrelevant. The fact that they did it at all, that it happened, is on them, and ultimately, as an owner, it is on you because you didn't set the standard for your bar to not allow that shit. So now, if your bar is getting labeled as a Nazi bar where Nazis can go hang out, that's because they were allowed to get in and hang out. That's you. You did that. And the fact that you didn't set that standard, that that's unacceptable, and that will not be something that we allow, that's on you. Now, people are going to say, well, Chris, what about, how would you handle that? Are you fucking kidding me? How would I handle that? Here's how I would have handled that. And I'm going to be straight with you. There is no planet on in any galaxy, in any universe, this one or any parallel or alternate universe, where anybody dressed like a Nazi would be able to walk up to the door I work and get into any bar I am working as the door at. It would not happen. None of my bar security staff would have allowed that to happen. Not only that, our ownership would never allow that to happen. Our managers would never allow that to happen. Our general manager would never allow that to happen. In fact, I'll take it one step further. Not only would you not get past me or any of my security staff, We would do everything in our power to ruin your fucking night. We would send the word out to every bar that we are associated with and say, yo, there are people walking around just like Nazis. Shut them down. We would go tell Cat's Eye. We would go tell Max's. We would go tell Waterfront. We would, every bar that we knew people, at, we would go to the Cup. We would go to the Horse. Where this all happened. We would go to every bar and say, or message every bouncer at every bar and say, yo, these people are walking around. Don't let them in. And you know what would happen? You would get shut the fuck down at every fucking bar. If I got a message from one of the guys at Max's, or one of the guys at this other bar, or at the Cat's Eye, or at Waterfront, because we all knew each other. We all had a network of like, yo, this motherfucker's too drunk. Don't let him in. Shut him down. This motherfucker acted like did some fucked up shit. Shut him down. We had the network of communication among all the other bars where we were like, yo, we gotta watch out for each other. I correlated those relationships. My bouncers correlated those relationships. And they came to us and we reciprocated. That's how we operated as bouncers. We had a circle because we were like a little family. We watched out for each other. We watched out for each other's customers. We watched out for each other's owners and management. We watch out for everybody because down there it's a community. Our owner was cool with Max's. It's cool with Max's owner. It's cool with Waterfront's owner. It's cool with Cat's Eye's owner. It's cool with everybody because we built those relationships over years of working together, working the First Point Festival, correlating security with all the other bars to make sure everything went smooth, making sure the relationships were built. We did that. We did that because it was what we did. As a bouncer, I had those relationships with the other bouncers. And our staff didn't play. We didn't tolerate that. It would not have happened in my day. I can assure you, they would get shut the fuck out of every bar. They wouldn't get into my bar. They wouldn't get into the bar next door. They wouldn't get to the bar down the street. They wouldn't get into anywhere in Fells Point. You'd have to take that shit somewhere the fuck else, but you damn sure would not. If you got into a bar in Fells Point, it was on that, we would send the word out. If somebody didn't pay attention, that's them. But we would put the word out, yo, this is going on. Rotos, Dog Walk, when it was still open, we let everybody know because we had relationships with every bar. Or I made it a point to. I made it a point to, like One-Eyed Mike's. We had those relationships. I went to bars and let them know, like, yo, I'm working tonight. If you have any fucking problems with anybody, let me know so we can get the word out. That's how we did it because we watched out for each other. I don't know if things have changed. Clearly things are not what they were when I was there. I can't speak on it. I haven't been there in a weekend night in quite some time. I can only speak from my personal experience. And from my personal experience, we didn't let that shit happen. It didn't happen. You were done if you came in dressed in Nazi garb, because it's not, and it's not even about if you want to be an asshole and dress like that. That's your choice. You are choosing to bring that confrontation to yourself when you do that. But what we're not gonna allow, or what I wouldn't allow, is for your stupidity to endanger other people in my bars that I worked at, or my bartenders, or my servers, or anybody like that. That shit was not gonna happen on that watch, on my watch, where they gotta deal with that shit because one of us slipped and let somebody in to do something dressed like that. Because it breeds confrontation. It breeds a bunch of dumb shit. And you see the aftermath that's happening with this bar now, with the horse, at the horse you came in on. You see the aftermath that's happening now, where where now they're dealing with a bunch of all this shit. When from jump, all you had to do was not let the motherfucker in. Let the fuckers in. Don't let them into your bar and you don't have a fucking problem. Yes, you have the right to free speech and whatever and all that. What you don't have is freedom from the consequences of being a fucking dummy. Dressing like a Nazi and going out on Halloween is asking for it. And quite frankly, they're lucky they didn't get it. That could have gone horribly for them. So it shows their stupidity. They're too stupid to be allowed to come into a bar and have a good time. To quote Roadhouse, you're too dumb to have a good time. So you gotta go. You wouldn't get past me. I can't, and you wouldn't get past me or any of my bouncers. And we would have each other's back. Like, yeah, you gotta take that shit somewhere else. Straight up. So that's my thoughts on that situation. And like for anyone defending these two dummies, like I don't know what to tell you. Like you clearly don't live in like the real world, really real world, because there's no way that was acceptable. It's not. Dressing like a Nazi on Halloween is not cool. It's not funny. People don't. It's not something. It's not edgy. You're just a fucking idiot. That's all there is to it. Anyway, that's all I've got for this one. Uh, I got other shit to do. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Peace.